right, thank you.
35.2.
Yes.
And where are you from again?
I'm from Holland.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you live somewhere else now.
Exactly. Yeah, I live in Thailand at the moment. Yeah, for 1.5 years already. Yeah.
Wow, wow. 1.5 years. And before that, you lived in Amsterdam, or did you travel the world?
I was traveling the world. Yeah, for already 3 years. I was living in all the different places in the world. And now, of course, with the situation changing, I'm like settling for now in Thailand. Yeah.
Wow. And how is it in Thailand?
It's been very amazing. Yeah, I've been feeling very blessed to be, yeah, I'm here on an island called Phangan. And yeah, we've been very blessed with just very relaxed environment and yeah, kind of like a little bit of a bubble in this period. So yeah, a lot of beautiful people to connect with and amazing weather island. And yeah.
So it's a great place to be now with the country.
Sure. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
35 blessed you in that way, with the adventure, and then
right. Yes.
to this moment in time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where did you travel before? I'm curious.
Yeah, so I've been to different places in the world, North America, South America, Central America, like that area, like Costa Rica, Guatemala, Peru, and also in Asia. I've been to Indonesia, Bali, and yeah, in Thailand now. Yeah.
Wow. I wish I had your 35.
Right. You can see it already, right?
Well, it's in Jupiter, so it's your law. It's the law you live by, and you truly embody it. That's how I feel when you tell me these stories. I went there, and I went there, and there. So,
right. Yeah.
Always been traveling, like from a young age? Of course, you're still
actually not so much. Actually, not so much. I only really tapped into this in this way when I was about 25. I really felt the call to expand myself in different ways, and just in Holland, just felt like,
boring.
Yeah, right. Like I was getting out of university and done my studies and done some work, and I felt like a deeper call for something more, like adventurous. Yeah, it is true. Like I felt that call of like, I want to see the world, I want to explore, I want to see different places, I have different experiences. And so that is something I really recognize in this energy of like, I really have that longing for new experiences. And I always love going on adventures, even if it's small adventures in the place where I'm at, where there is an energy of adventure. Like it's always for me very calling. Yeah.
So you really sense the adventure, or when we go from, they call it a low frequency, but I feel hunger can be like a positive if you just feel, like you said, the calling of, I want to take this adventure. And maybe you can explain a little bit how it works inside of you when you feel the call, where to go and why.
Yeah, it's always quite miraculous. I don't, this is also the part of the adventure. Like a lot of times I don't know exactly why I'm going to a certain place or how long I'm going to be there. It's just a sense or like a feeling or like, that I feel called to go somewhere. And then the adventure starts, right? So then, like I'll meet people, and then things will come from that. All of a sudden I'm at a place and experiencing something that I wasn't actually planning to do. So that's also part of this adventure energy that I don't really plan everything, but I'm really open for to experience. Like one of the things that I really felt so resonating with like this energy is like the energy of really wanting to experience life fully, and have that the aliveness. And
I see it in your eyes. Just like,
lighting up.
I love my life. That's what you express, what I feel from you.
Right. Yeah.
Has it always been this way? Or there sometimes adventures? Of course, you say you don't have any expectations, but underneath you maybe have, or when something we label as not as good experience, how do you feel that?
Yeah, so sometimes experiences can also be very disappointing, because I can have this energy of really wanting like a extraordinary experience, or like something that really and it's kind of like the hunger can also be the hunger for more and more experience, and it's never enough. And then it can also go a bit too far sometimes. Like I bring myself in a situation, and then I'm like, oh, like I went too far into it, and didn't like stop at the right moment to be like, okay, it's enough. Like I can be satisfied with this. I don't need to push for more all the time. And then sometimes it like I have the experience that that I'm in that, and I also have the energy of desire in my profile. So it's like sometimes this like this like combination just has this gravity towards, this is what I want, and I want to experience this. And then sometimes it doesn't live up to that, or sometimes nothing happens for a little while, and that can be a challenging thing because I don't. Then the boredom, like the can come in of like with one of the expressions, like I just don't feel like much is happening, and I can't feel that satisfaction of, it's beautiful as it is, and finding the adventure in a little bit like smaller things. That's kind of feels my challenge, like to just be in the light with the things around me, and finding the joy in that. It doesn't need to always be this big grand like thing, and feeling more also the satisfaction being inside of me, and not like always needing all these different things to happen, all these new sensations to actually feel satisfied. And and I feel like it has in a way always been that way, but I also feel like I've become more liberated in myself. So I feel that in the past, it was also sometimes there was some fears, or there was more conditioning, and so I wasn't always able to really feel that aliveness, or feel that freedom to actually be in that adventurous energy. I also have some other energies that are more fixed and more like I'm Taurus also in my astrology. So for example, I can also have this energy of like, I just want things to stay the same. So sometimes it's interesting, like how these energies like work together. Yeah.
So when you say about you don't want things to change, it's like this push and pull, right?
Yes. Like I want new things. I want new experiences. But then I can also be a little bit hesitant, because if I have something that feels really good, and then there's a hunger for more, but then sometimes it can be disappointing when I try to get something more, and then I lose the thing that I really loved, or so it's like this push and pull, indeed, what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's like being regretful that you went out of the beautiful experience because you wanted more, and then going, oh, why did I go for that? It was perfect the way it was.
Exactly. Like sometimes I just push it too far, and then I have already had a very beautiful day, and I can just go home and just be in this energy of, wow, it was such a beautiful day. And then sometimes I push it too far, and then I have a negative experience, and it kind of like puts a damper on the day. And I'm like, oh, did I really need to, like take it further or push further? And this was one of the things also I felt with this energy of like the trust in the timing more, which can be very challenging. Like, no, I want it now. This hunger, no, I want it now. And the desire of like, and then it might not be ready yet. So I would try and create it in a moment that it isn't really flowing effortlessly or isn't available, and then it creates this friction and drama and like a negative experience, actually, because I'm not relaxed enough to allow it to come to me in a timing that is aligned, and just enjoy where I'm at right now. It gives this feeling of sometimes running and going, and it goes well, and then at one point it's like I fall. It's like, oh, I could have just taken a pause and continued, and then regain my energy, or like feel the right timing for something. And that can be challenging.
That's what I wanted to ask. Do you feel it's related to, having the energy to go into an experience? I feel like your body is saying, yeah, it was awesome. And then the body says, but now I'm tired. And you go, yeah, but I want it. But your body says like, no, but I'm tired. And then you walk into the drama because you don't have the energy to fulfill your own expectation of the thing you wanted to push forward to happen, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel that.
And maybe, do you feel like because you are conscious of it, that you have this push and pull and that you are trying to force sometimes, how do you pull yourself back into, oh, it's okay, not the experience, not for now?
Yeah. And this is still a challenge up until this day, like where I try to remind myself also that more is not always better. And like to also align with quality over quantity. And this kinds of energies of like more of something good, like eating a cake, like, yes, it's like, but if you eat the whole cake, you're going to feel nauseous, and this is not going to be a good experience. And so I'm trying to feel like, when am I pushing, and when am I starting to more and more feel when that is, like listening. It feels sometimes quite subtle, like compared to the hunger energy, which is quite strong. But I'm starting to learn to listen. My evolution is moving from deafness to insight. So it's like the deafness kind of prevents me from hearing sometimes the true guidance of, oh, no, actually it's better to just take it easy today, and tomorrow is another day. And to remind myself that if something is really meant for me, that it will happen. And that it's not like I need to make it happen, or now is the time and I won't have another opportunity. It's like, well, if something is really, aligned, it will, one way or another, it will come into my experience. So I won't miss out on it if I just take it easy and relax and give myself some space and time to enjoy what it already is. And then, so this is the navigation. Sometimes conversations with myself, I'm like, okay, slow down, take a moment to feel into if it's really the timing right now. And I think pausing also is really great. And I kind of get caught up in this like energy of more. And then all of a sudden, sometimes this is my experience, I'm like falling and I'm like, oh shit, like now I fell and I went too far, and I was kind of oblivious of the trajectory. And if I pause more during the day, also just breathe and align again, and then it creates these more pauses and more slowing down of my experience. And then it's easier for me to catch the signals of, oh, okay, now it's time to actually take it easy, or let's just do that tomorrow, and let's enjoy today for what it is.
Yeah. Beautiful that you brought that in with the breath, because the Jupiter is also, aligning with your breath and into the body.
Okay.
Profile, the visionary, the 6 always wants to go forward, but the 3 is your body, and the 3 is, trial and error. So that's the perfect example you're giving right now, the example of pushing and then falling and then going, okay, I learned my lesson. And next time, okay, you learn the lesson again. And then you become a master of it, but your body is behind your vision, behind the things you want to do and want to experience. And then the body's taking the fall.
Right.
Of like, let's take a breath and take a pause, because I have to catch my breath. You're going so fast with your 6th line. And then, beautiful.
Yeah.
So when you go into an experience, let's say, for example, you went to Thailand, you had a reason for going there. What was the vision that you had when you went to Thailand? What did you want to experience? Maybe within the relationships with the people that you meet over there. Can you share something about that? How does it feel? How does it express? What do you sense?
Yeah. In general, I have this excitement when I go to a new place. It's like it is that sense of adventure. And I was really looking to expand myself in ways of connecting with people and creating together with others. Like this was one of the things that I felt like really called to. And besides that, I was really just feeling the energy of going to experience something new and being open for what it could be. So the essence, I feel, is then clear of I want to experience deeper connection with others and co-creating together and having this sense of togetherness and collaboration. But yeah, everything went differently, right? Like, so this is also the thing sometimes, because yeah, things started to close down and it was way more an energy of going inward and nothing really like being open. And this in general was quite challenging for me. Also, I feel with my radiance, my line 3, which like really thrives on different things and yeah, these kinds of experiences. And yeah, it's like it's really different than being able to go everywhere and have this kind of expansion and adventure energy, then all of a sudden needing to retreat and be alone a lot of times and not have that input was then challenging to kind of readjust to that. And find a slower pace.
And now when you had to go more inside, because I think maybe in Thailand the traveling with buses and everything is also sort of closed or limited, or
I'm living at an island, so it's quite small, so there are no buses and everything. And we have been luckily very blessed that most of the time, actually during this period, a lot of things were still accessible and open compared to the rest of. But I was having this idea of organizing some circles and gatherings for people and maybe co-creating this with others. And that was something that kind of like was not really like the right timing for that. So then the timing thing comes in where it's like, okay, yes, I really want to experience that. And there's a hunger for this, this bringing myself into the world in this way with others. And then I had to really like feel, okay, right now is not the timing because the world is going through something completely different. And
So what are you creating now then when you're in this limited space? Because you're on an island, and on the island you cannot come together in large group, maybe 2, 3. I don't know how it is in Thailand, with here.
Yeah, right now it's luckily a bit better, and so right now, but this has taken like 1.5 years. Right now, I'm actually doing what I felt, part of what I felt coming here. So we're coming together and creating a community with a few others to empower others to create and collaborate together and connect with other creators and visionaries, and so create like a platform for people to share their gifts with each other and really really feel a togetherness in serving the world together. So but this is just recently, like the last few weeks, months or something, that has really now been able to pick up because the restrictions are opening again. And I really right away feel more alive. Like that's always something for me. Well, things are happening, great. Like, and I feel much more like, alive again. Yeah.
And when you look back on the let's say the months before that, you retreated within yourself and reflecting back maybe on your life and on the things that you wanted to co-create, did they bring you some more insights on now when you can co-create again and come together again? Do you feel like going inside made even the vision bigger and more detailed, or?
I feel it has allowed me to be more in my own empowerment and working through a lot of things in myself that weren't fully aligned with that yet. So now I feel like I'm able to create and work together in a more effortless way, in a more aligned way than I think I would be able to 1 year ago. I feel there was more fears, more insecurities, more like limiting beliefs that I was still holding. that of course, if I would have gone into that right then, it would also be in a way dissolving as we will go. But right now I feel like, wow, I'm much more equipped. I'm feeling much more ready. In the last year, every time I tuned in, I felt this energy of preparation, and I got really impatient. I was like, again, preparation, still preparation, like after a few months, no, still preparation. And I was like, oh, and that can be this impatience sometimes of like, wanting things to move faster than they are. But yeah, like I see now that this preparation has been very serving, and this is also something that I had to learn over time, like to value the periods of integration and less things happening, and to understand that that's part of the cycles and can't always be in this like, like the full creation, abundance, like outward energy, that these periods of going inwards and maybe not so much happening are, very much needed and can be enjoyable, but just in a different way. And
because the outside can be, distracting and pulling you away from yourself and the inside, and things you still need to work on. I feel the 35 can make you forget that there is you inside that has a history, that has had a life before it. It has been a child, and it has been, all these phases in life which you have learned from, or maybe been hurt, or things. Let me put it that way: is when you go inside, at least that's how it works for me. I go back to sometimes even big lessons that I had forgotten, and when I go back, I go like, oh wow, yeah, I can use it right now, but I have forgotten because I was distracted by all the excitement from the outside.
Yes, I so feel that. It's the energy of forgetting, like, oh, there's this human, experience that's because if I tune into the city, like the boundlessness, there's this energy, and I feel it specifically also combined with my line 6, which is like the vision of the infinite possibilities and the magical reality that we can tap into. But then there's also the past and the experiences and the cycles of life and the energies that we're working with on a daily basis that are also real, that are also like part of the experience. And sometimes I can really just want to be in this magical space of infinite possibility and reality that is just that boundless nature that we have. So that can sometimes be like, but bringing it back to reality and also accepting like, yes, and we're living in this world which has limitations, and that we're working with emotions and deep trauma sometimes, and wounds and generational impact and collective impact. And it's not just that, that it's all part of life.
I have written down some notes for the second line, because we are talking about the 35 second line. Keynote, it says, able to tell what the prior experience was all about. Well, that's what we are doing here. And then the second line, growing. Every interaction brings potentially new experiences. Sometimes your endeavors are held back until you are able to receive assistance. Line 2 can have a creative block. Lack of inspiration which stops progress. When you hear this, can you relate to it?
I feel like, it's interesting. Like I can feel I remember it's also the keyword of freedom, right? Like there's this energy of this, but then sometimes I feel this hold back and the I don't know, the line 2 also for me always stands for this energy of actually like really longing for the togetherness and the relevance of being together, but then also having some struggles sometimes to find the right person or partner or support. to actually be able to move it forward. And yeah, the creativity, I can also feel like sometimes that's very much there, and sometimes I just feel like yeah, it's like a certain, yeah, like as if it's something is being blocked from moving forward. That's kind of the experience I'm having. Like sometimes there's inspirations and things, but it's not, it doesn't seem to be moving forward. And I think that can be challenging with this energy of the hunger, you know, like I want it, and then there's this kind of block that's happening, or like, yeah, not the right support for it, not the right timing or whatever, and then feeling being blocked, and that's being quite challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that, especially when you have this vision, and then you know certain people, and then you tell them your vision of the new adventure or the experience, or the something you want to co-create, because for me that feels like an adventure, co-creating something, building something together, and then making everybody enthusiastic, and then somehow people just don't do or interact the way that you expect them to do, or able to deliver what the vision holds. And then having to wait for new people to arrive, or to meet new people that will fit your vision.
Actually, when you're saying this now, I'm like, this is what's happening a lot of times, because I've had that kind of feeling like, oh, we're coming together and we're having the same vision, let's get this like going, and then something happens, then yeah, that's kind of like have someone else be in a different trajectory all of a sudden, and or like isn't needing to focus on something else, or isn't, yeah. And then the frustration of like, yeah, and I think this is also the link of like there's so much passion, there's so much like, but then there can also be this anger around like, come on, you know, like we're going to do this together, and feeling like alone in it or something. And then, yeah, the timing and the patience, which is of course the quite a big challenge. So I don't always have the patience, and then the anger can come up like, no, I want it now, like, yeah.
What do you do when that happens, when you collected or gathered some people, you know, to manifest, because it's a manifesting gate, this vision, and then it sort of falls apart? What do you do when you feel that anger and frustration? Are you able to sit and breathe with it and wait, or do you still try to force it and seek it? Or I was negative, but I don't mean it negatively, but
no, yeah, I would have this, and sometimes, yeah, like still, like in the beginning, I think I get better at like accepting it at one point, but still the initial response is trying to convince, or trying to when someone, and this is also, I feel, related to this, to the energy of deafness sometimes, where it's like someone is expressing like, hey, I feel right now I don't feel I have the capacity to do this or that, and then I don't want to hear it, and I just kind of want to be like, yeah, but we can just like do this or that, and like kind of come with this, no, but it's amazing, and what if we just do this, and what if we just do that, and like keep continuing and trying to make it happen, because this was what we were going to do. So, and then can be quite fixed on it. No, but this was what we were going to do, and then, yeah, it goes faster and faster that I'm coming more into an energy of trust, that I can feel, okay, well, if it's not happening right now, then can I trust that there's a better timing or a better alignment with other people that is on its way, and can I let go? But in the beginning, usually my tendency is to, no, like I wanted this to happen, and we're gonna go, yes, we were gonna go on this adventure, and I really want to go on an adventure, and nobody wants to go on an adventure with me, and then, yeah. So it's still a process of more and more finding that acceptance and trust and surrender of everything that is happening, even though I was really looking forward to something, or I was really focused on something, and I'm disappointed, to transmute that a little bit faster and faster in in the understanding that it's always for the better, that whatever is happening. And I've seen it now, so it makes it easier. Like, oh, then I was thinking it's a disaster and now it's not going to work out, and then a week later something else comes along, or someone comes along, and all of a sudden it's way better than I was envisioning. And yeah, so that's kind of these experiences that help me to more and more faster and faster tap into this divine timing alignment, and feel okay with things not going the way or being restricted in one way or another. Yeah.
Beautiful experience when you said, and I was hoping for you to see that, of when you just let it go and then, trust, then something happens and somebody else comes along, and then suddenly it turns out way better than you have ever envisioned. And I feel that is the energy of the boundlessness. When you let it go, it comes to you, and it will be even more perfect than you ever could imagine.
Yeah. Right, and this is energy of like there's infinite realities, so it's never that something is actually ruined, or like there's always like another way, another possibility, another like, and the energy of miracles can happen. So it's in, and I might not know exactly how it's going to go, and have a different idea in mind or way, but yeah, there's always a way that they can show up even more beautiful, or aligned.
Yeah, I feel the 35 is always finding, not even looking for, but finding opportunities and possibilities, always finding a way to make it happen.
Right.
Make it happen without any force.
Right. So this is the tricky thing, right? Like,
yeah, it's a thin line.
It's such a thin line of like, because I feel that creativity in me of like, and also the knowing, and I feel like that I'm emanating that towards others as well. It's like there's always a way. There's always a way we can like it's not. I feel that energy in myself a lot of the positivity of like, no, there's so many options, so many ways, and the creativity around that, finding a different way, and seeing the adventure in the journey also of like, oh, and then we find something else, and then we go here, and then this is happening. Okay. And I feel that's when I'm in a higher frequency. I'm just open for life, and there's a certain lightness. For me, the desire and the hunger, I have them both very strong, so they're quite connected. Of like the lightness can sometimes also very much help with the hunger of like, oh, just being light and open and seeing everything as an adventure, and not being so much focused on this is what I need, this is what I want to get, and be more open to be surprised by life, and having this energy of adventure inside of the journey, and then seeing, oh, okay, great, now I get to tap into my creativity and find something else, and having that attitude is definitely I feel that's when I'm really tapping more into the higher frequencies instead of the shadow and getting stuck in that. Yeah.
You also feel that with your 35 enthusiasm and the vision and seeing all the possibilities, that you without any force can inspire people to realign again with your vision and with the experience and the adventure that you want to manifest.
Yeah, for sure. Like sometimes I feel that, whenever others are getting stuck in like, I don't see a way out, or I just don't know how to move forward in something. Sometimes I feel that I can bring this energy of, oh, but let's just look at it. Let's just see, what can we make from what is right here, right now. And also opening others again too, that there are more possibilities than maybe in first instance we are able to perceive. So I think that there can be, if I'm able to be in that lightness and the inspirational energy instead of the anger or frustration or that, then I feel like then I can actually bring bring this sense of, oh, let's just see it as a beautiful adventure. Let's just
People
enjoy
want to follow your adventure. They want to contribute. Right. They want to follow it. They want to go in with it with you, just by you being in that higher frequency of exploring and creating. Yeah, I feel amazing. So what is, I'm just curious, what is that you are, because you talk a lot about co-creation and gathering, and I don't have a picture now in my head of what that looks like. So could you please share, how does this adventure and the co-creating and gathering, how does that look like for you?
Yeah. So for me, what I'm envisioning like is spaces and opportunities for people to come together and be in an energy of openness, without there being a certain hierarchy or certain structure, certain like this, which is the kind of like the limits, right? That we're putting, oh, this is what's going to happen, and this is how this is everyone's role, this is the thing. And I feel I've experienced also already, and I feel like the way forward is so beautiful to come together without this agenda and have just the energy that we wish to bring forth, and then I've facilitated rituals and ceremonies also where I always feel the invitation for others to bring in their energy and bring in their unique gift, their magic. And then, it's so beautiful what happens, because everyone starts to contribute and there's this alchemy that's taking place. And then basically we're on an adventure together in that moment. And then new things will come to fruition. And all of a sudden someone has an idea and they bring it in. And and from out of this alchemy field, like things are being created and people are being tapped into their higher potential and bringing in their unique gift to the world together with others, creating something beautiful. So, and this is like, for me, when we're already knowing what we're going to do and it's already clear, oh, this person is going to lead this is what's going to happen, it becomes, it has a certain like stillness to it of like, okay, we all know what's going to happen. It can still be powerful, but when we're letting go of these like structures and roles and things, then I feel like we're tapping into the unknown, and we can really, and the boundlessness, because who knows what we're going to be able to manifest together and create, like when we're letting go of all of these fixed things. And and then a lot of times really truly like exceptional things are happening more and more, right? So when everyone gets more confident also in who they are and bringing that forward.
I really feel that you're pulling in the people in this big life adventure, because I feel 35 is all about living the life.
Right.
What does that entail? What is life really all about? It's so huge. It's such a big energy, the 35. You know, life is the energy, right? The breath is the energy. And I feel when you share that, then I start to envision it like you know, gathering these people and pulling in all these lives to share a life, to share all what comes forth from that coming together.
Yes. And it's like, for me, it's like the excitement of like human potential. Like I feel we haven't absolutely not tapped into our full potential, like by far. So there's this excitement of like, wow, what are we going to be able to tap into? Like, who knows what's going to be possible, like more and more when we're aligning ourselves with those higher frequencies. And it's so excitement for me to see. Yeah,
it sounds a bit like, because the 35 also says the miracles and wormholes. And when you just shared it, I felt like your hunger is kind of searching for the miracles and the wormholes. Where can we go in, and what can we find, and what magic can happen? And yeah.
And when someone says, "Oh, that's not possible," there's always something in me. It's like,
so is that not?
Oh, you know. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have an example of that, of somebody saying, I don't think that is possible, and you went like, okay, boom, 35 went on, it is possible, there are miracles and wormholes we can go into. Do you have a beautiful example?
Let's see.
Which one?
Yeah. I think it's just a lot of times it's in the small things, actually. Like there are so many ideas of, well, what if money is one great example, actually, like for a lot of people, like, no, but like I have to do this or that, or this is the only way that I'm able to sustain myself. And no, like it can't happen that like I need to do some kind of work, some kind of effort, and then, yeah, no, it cannot happen that money just comes to you. No, like that it just surprisingly like appears. And then it's like, well, it is possible. And I've had experiences like where all of a sudden I was totally not expecting something to come through. And then all of a sudden there was this like, like alignment with like money that I was getting somehow back, which wasn't really like, I was like, okay, well, thank you. Or it just comes out of like some kind of like unexpected direction. And I think to be open for these possibilities and not be in the energy of, oh, but that's not going to be possible. Oh, you need to do this for years to be able to experience a powerful, like energetic awakening or something. You need to do this for years. It's like, and this is kind of the loophole of the like, well, maybe there's a, you know, like the shortcut energy of like, well, who knows? Like it can be possible if we align ourselves to a different reality, then something very powerful, unexpected can come to us if we believe in miracles and believe in magic. Then yeah, I've seen it more and more show up in small ways, in bigger ways of like, wow, like synchronicities and things just all of a sudden lining up, and what I thought would have not been possible at all, and others would say like, no, that's not going to be possible, like that's not how life works. And then like, well, like it can work like that as well, we're just not used to it. But you know, like, and we're still more and more opening ourselves for these kinds of miraculous experiences, also with healing, for example. I've had also like go to the dentist, like this was recently, yeah, this tooth needs to be like a root canal, like thing, you cannot, this is irreversible, healable. And I work with a lot of natural frequency medicine and healing and aligning with what this energy was telling me. And I healed the tooth, it's not hurting anymore. So yeah, this is actually a great example that a lot of people would say, no, that's not possible. But it is, with the right alignment or openness for it to heal in a more natural way, for example.
That is an amazing example, because
yeah.
I had a lot of root canals, so I'm going like, okay, what can I learn here from you?
Yeah, and it's challenging because I also had to have the patience because it wasn't healed in one day. No. So the conviction and to stay like open, no, I know it's going to be possible. And even though many people haven't experienced it yet, I know it's going to be possible, and to keep aligning with that. And it took quite some time for it actually to have that effect. And it was sometimes challenging to keep having that faith and to keep tuning into this reality where my tooth could just heal. And yeah, and it has that. And then, but more and more people are going to experience these experiences and these miracles, and then it will become more and more normal, I feel.
Yeah,
but right now,
of this tooth, and you experience trying, how can I heal it myself, is something you can bring forward. Then I'm like, please share, how did you do that, so I can learn from that. How did you do that from your experience? So please share, how did you do it? What did you use? What did you try? What?
Yeah, you really want to hear?
Yeah, I really want to hear.
Yeah, so actually it was a lot of different things combined. And I feel that this is also the key. Like, it's not to focus on one thing, oh, this needs to be it. And if not, then it's like, I was open to everything. So I was like, okay, I was searching some things up. I used colloidal silver, oil pulling. I have a friend who has like a frequency healing bioresonance machine, and they're so in magnetic pulses, so we would use the energies to on an energetic level, and then I worked a lot with my mindset and the believing of like opening myself to the possibility that I could just wake up and it would just be gone. And so I feel like approaching it from all the different levels is one of the things that feels key, like from the physical level, from the energetic level, emotional level. Also, I was tuning into what is this related to, just intuitively, like, why is it showing up? There's maybe some relevance for me to experience this, or what is the message from it on that kind of a level. And in the end, I don't know, what it was, or if it was just one thing, or if it was the combination of everything, or but in the end, it doesn't matter, like it was also for me a lot of the openness and the belief, and just going for it and trying everything, and being open for this miracle to happen. Yeah.
I love that. I so resonate with what you just shared, because I feel, I believe, and I know that what you just shared is the way to heal ourselves. And for one person, it means doing this particular thing, or using this particular thing. I feel it's a combination, because it's not just one thing. Right. And for each person, it's so individual. What works for you might not work for me, but maybe another combination will work for me. Yeah. And by you trying and experiencing and just sending it out there of, I have tried this, and this, and then it worked. And then some other people can look into it and go like, okay, let me try this and this, because I already tried that and that. And that way, one day we are able to heal ourselves. And I find it cosmically funny that with my 35 and healing, I have experienced moments that I healed myself in a quantum hypnosis. I suddenly my hands went through my hip, and the other person, I was lying on the bed and the camera was above me, so she could see me, and she saw what happened there. And in another moment, I smoked some, I don't know the English word for it, but I smoked something and I went in this trance. And then, I don't know if you have any experience with it, but you're in your own little bubble, and then my body just takes over, or something takes over, and it created energy bulbs and all over my body, and I gave myself a healing all over. So now I'm trying to find the link. Is the 35 also the experiencing of healing and the different modalities of that? And I feel something is in there as well, because it has to do with
like the energy of the boundless nature also of us, that we are able to heal ourselves, that is possible. And the openness for these quantum hacks and things like that, I feel that's also very much the energy of the 35, where it's like, okay, we can just hack reality, and we don't need to do this over time and years. No, we can just hack it, and there's different ways we can work with it and tap into the quantum field. And I feel that there is something in that which is very, I feel very strongly linked to a new way of healing. Something into surgery, it's such a dense way of doing something, and I feel like a lighter way is
because I also feel that the 35 shows us how to live a life well. So that comes up for me. So what is a life lived well? It is through prosperity, health, and to experience life fully with the 35, and you get to experience by just trying everything that is available to us, and which is maybe not available to us yet, but just because you know it's somewhere out there, let me just pick it and try it. And then yeah, I feel I can't explain it really, but maybe something pops up for you, is that the life's experience gives us or shows us the way to live a healthy life. And that way it is related to healing. Because I also feel I have a 35-36 to my emotional. And I also feel that when I sort of went through all these waves of emotions through life, so I experienced a lot in that, but I also felt the beauty and the healing part in not regulating is not the right word for emotions, but knowing why there's a function for these emotions and what you can do with emotions and how emotions can heal you. You know, when you change the frequency of the emotion, see the value of anger or sad or feeling low in energy. I feel when you're in a low emotional wave and you have a less energy, you go crouching and life sucks, you know, something like that. There's just a sign for us that the body is, like you said, it's not the right timing. You're not with the right people. You're not in the right environment. So I feel it shows us sort of the way when you listen to the 35, it can show you the miracles of life, of a life lived well, but you have to tune in, like you said in the beginning, you have to tune in and listen to the body, not the deafness, of what signs is it giving you, which way to go and with which people to go into a relationship, to co-create or to be together.
I feel like the learning from experience and the learning from navigating through all these things in life is really part of that. And I remember something else you said about I can't remember, but you were sharing something about before, something around like
the emotion.
Maybe the emotions and working with that in a way of starting to understand more and more, and like the 35 just being willing to change things up, and okay, this is not okay, let me try something else, and kind of this energy like has me be open, for example, to try something in healing that maybe is still very new and not tested, and you know, like it's not conventional, but my 35 is like, let's try it, like let's go for it, and has that kind of confidence in like, well, it might just work, and
right?
And then it has the potential because it is open to try all these different things. It finds, like I tried 10 things, maybe 5 things, you know, weren't the right way for me, but then there's other things that are right, and if as maybe with another energies combination, like wouldn't be so open to try these things out, then there's less possibility to experience this healing on certain levels. And same with emotions, to be investigating it and to be curious, to be like, what's happening, and
And for you, again, it's your law. So when you live by it, you are able to, you know, quantum leap in so many ways. I just look at your pearl chart, because in there, your vocation being the second gene key, and then line 3, you know, receiving. I hear that also in your stories, and then your culture, the 8.3, you know, the exquisiteness and your own style being totally different than the mediocre, you know, the normal ways that we know about healing the body and living a life lived well. And it doesn't have to be in this constructed picture that we are conditioned, you know, we have to live a certain way and then it will be okay. But you're showing that there are more possibilities, and when you're open to, you know, the second gene key,
Yeah, it's really like exploring, which I feel like this pioneering energy also, where I feel like my role model energy will come in like more and more and more of like, oh yeah, there is really like a new exploring kind of new ways of living life, and that haven't been so much done before, and that kind of like finding quality and this, yeah, for me the exquisiteness of the style of it looks different, it is different, and it's yeah, it requires that trust in life and openness to this magic, and then yeah, I feel like so much can open up for us. And it's I feel like, yeah, that can also with the culture of like doing something different, it is already an adventure, right? Because it's not following the conventional path of what has already been done. So it's finding the new ways, and I see like a forest, right, where there's like this path where everyone walks on, and it's like this, oh, this is how you walk through the forest, and like the energy of what I feel in both of these energies is like, oh, but let me go here and see how it is to go through the trees and like find another pathway, and people think you're crazy. It's like, what if you get lost? And yeah, and then the two, which has the orientation of like, yeah, just the trust and the orientation, you're always like going to be finding, yeah, if you're always actually already on the right path, and you're always guided, always being shown the way, even if you're treading new territory or are in the unknown, you can still trust these the guidance, and yet trust in the adventure of life. Yeah.
And sometimes I think the knowing of that there is no good or wrong in any experience, right? Because you tried it, well, they didn't work, and then you trust again, and then you orientate, okay, now we go here, and then you find.
And I feel like the humor, right? Like of like, okay, it's like life isn't like a smooth ride from A to B that's just like cruising. It is a bit like has this like yeah, obstacles sometimes, and that pathways, and like, yeah, it's and then you fall and you can laugh and you can like get up again. And yeah, in general, that's also of course the energy of the line 3, where it's like, okay, we can try and fail, and it's all part of life, and we learn from it. And yeah,
when we go back to, because now we're talking about after you're 25 years old, you know, the magic started happening with the 35. When you go back, when you were younger, do you feel that the 35 draw you to that epiphany of, wow, this is 35 and I get to explore and I get to use the hunger for the better of the whole, so to speak? But maybe when you were younger, it might have drawn you into things more trial and error, and that you maybe not trusted?
Yeah, I feel like when you speak, like I feel the energy of this manic energy, kind of what I would have more in the past, just being busy like with things, and just like being on this kind of overdrive a lot of times, and because I was not conscious of it at that moment, it was yeah, it was quite intense. The restlessness, kind of this energy of yeah, restlessness, and not being able to kind of just relax and settle, and kind of this needing to always be busy and do things, and really a bit afraid of the boredom, and the, yeah, and really having this, I want this, but I don't really know how to manifest it, and it doesn't happen, and yeah, the frustration, and the sometimes I got really into this energy of like hopelessness of I know this is possible, but I don't seem to be able to get it, how much I try, and then I keep like in trying different things and trying this and trying that, and just wouldn't work. Just like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like you want to pull your hair, so, oh, why it's not working?
Yeah. and this energy of, I know it's possible, but then the trying and the trying different things, and then it doesn't work, and still I feel in my first part of my life it was way more trying just things without any kind of direction or guidance so much. So it was just, it felt a bit all over the place, and just like, and just trying to have all these experiences that kind of like were great, but then in the end it wasn't actually nourishing me on a deeper level. So it was just like, and then there was more hunger, and there's like a perpetual like cycle of trying to find things and trying to find love, and all in the wrong, places, instead of like, and then not understanding yet that and not have the ability to slow down and go within, feeling very fearful of that also, and feeling way more safety in being all over and out and about than being inside, and and discovering things in there.
Do you feel like maybe when you were younger, because I hear that a lot with the 35 is searching outside to fill a void in yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does that feel for you?
Yeah, I definitely recognize that. Yeah. Now more and more I start to feel, oh, wait a second, I can source kind of more within, and like feel this happiness within myself. But yeah, for sure, like there's still a tendency, and in the past it was very strong, like to try and to feel like wanting to fill from with experience. I had it mostly with experiences or love through relationships, or just exciting experiences, and but always being in that restless energy of it would never really truly fulfill. It would always be temporary, and then there would be more, like there would be another like feeling of hunger and wanting something, and so it's never enough and never fulfilling. And then like it's still like a process of, okay, no, but I can also relax and feel more in the inside and be present. And then now and more I start to become way more sensitive and feeling more subtle things in the experiences. So I don't need as much anymore from the outside. So because I start to become more sensitive to subtle things.
Feeling the aliveness within your body instead of feeling having the aliveness outside of yourself.
And feeling more able to feel energy in subtler ways, and so I don't need all that stimulation from the outside or things happening. For example, as an intimacy and sexuality has been like something that's been really like, so there's been this shift also in feeling much more sensitive in terms of experiences and sensing energy and being able to play with that in a way that doesn't require like a strong experience or like a wild fantasy or whatever to kind of feel this excitement. The excitement comes way more now from a full body total experience instead of a temporary sensation in a peak sensation.
I think there is in a way a correlation with the 59-6 and then the 35. The 59-6, I know that very well because my husband has that one double, so unconscious and conscious. And we've talked a lot about it, and me having the 35-36, which is also related to relationships and sexuality. 59-6 is more for procreation, penetrating. 36-35 is more about the experience of the emotions that are involved. But when you look at the higher expression of the 59-6 and also the 35-36, I feel there's sort of a relation between, like you said, the energetics between two people or with a group even. Experience and being intimate in a much deeper way than just emotions or sexuality.
Yeah. I recognize that. Like it goes beyond.
Right.
Beyond that.
And sometimes it's not expressible by words. It is just, it's this connection that you feel that goes beyond. It's like you said, energetic. You feel an energetic relationship, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. Like it goes beyond that. Yeah, or even like emotional or sexual or like, experience. It is way deeper. And I feel like now when I've experienced it, I feel like, oh, wait a second. No, that's actually what I'm really longing for. And that is just not attainable when I'm in this space of hunger and desire and wanting something to happen, because that's just going to prevent that magic from actually happening. Like it really requires the surrender and the relaxation and the openness for something to happen. Yeah.
I see these two play together, the 35 with your 59-6, and then having all these insights around relationships, intimacy, and you traveling across the globe and then meeting all sorts of cultures and people and men, women. I feel it's so rich. I feel there's something more that wants to be shared right now.
I feel richness is absolutely a word that I would connect also with the 35. Like there's a richness in life that we get to experience, and at first it's the richness in all these different experiences, and this is the adventure of life and experiencing this and that and this buffet, and I feel like the more refined we're getting with this energy, it starts to become more subtler, and there's just a richness in every moment, and that discovery feels to me like some of the most beautiful, like rewarding. It's like I feel the pearls, like this is the harvest, like this is like the harvest of my life when I feel the richness of all these different experiences, even in the more subtler realms, because then there is less of this energy of like I need all these different things every moment, because I can find it more in the everyday experience, more in the subtle energies. Which helps me to relax and calm down a bit and like be more present in the moment, because the hunger sometimes has me be in a space of the future also, like getting something, and then not being able to enjoy what is already here present with me, and feeling and experiencing the richness of it and the fulfillment of it.
Again, I go back to the relationships, because it really, I love connecting with people as well. I feel that the 35 just loves connecting with people, no matter where they come from. You just have this curiosity of what is your culture? What are your beliefs? What are your daily practices? What do you eat? Wanting to know about humanness, about humans and life itself, even animals maybe, or nature, or... So what I'm really curious about, you, like I said, you have flown across the globe and you met different cultures and people. What were the beautiful insights that you have about different cultures and people? What do we have in common? And what are the things, what comes up for me, needs to be healed so we can have a more intimate relationship with whomever, wherever they come from? It's a big question, but so I'm just going to ask.
Let's see what's coming true on this. I feel like the first thing that comes up is that we can really learn from each other. Like and if we're open for different ways of experiencing life, basically, I feel it can very enrich us. And I feel what will support the healing is if we're able to be more open to do something in a different way and to see how that is, and to see, oh, maybe actually the way I've been doing it my whole life, that might be great, but maybe there's a different way that is actually, maybe even more easy, or has a different quality to it. Sometimes it's not even about better or worse. I feel that sometimes we get into this competition. No, you need to do it like this. No, you need to do it like that. No, but I'm always doing it like this. No, but this is the better way. And it's like, I think this is the healing also of the collective, of instead of seeing it as like competition, once again, like the collaboration, like how can we see, wow, someone, like different cultures have different innate like energies and qualities and habits that we can learn from when we're open to new experiences, right? This is the 35 also, like, are open to experience something different, and it might blow our minds and like be like, wow, like I thought I would hate this, but now when I try it, it's actually great, and I'm gonna just incorporate that in my own life. And I feel there's so much knowledge, there's so much wisdom on the planet in different also indigenous cultures and tribes, and the way of living together as a tribe, for example, and the way we can work together is very much by being open to what wisdom does someone else have. And if we can always assume that there's always something that someone has for us, like a gift for us, or a culture can have for us, or then I feel we can really share those gifts with each other, and our practices, and our which is kind of what's already been happening a lot with the practices of the East coming to the West, and kind of like, oh wow, like more people tapping into these ancient practices, and yeah, we can all learn from each other in that sense. Yeah,
I feel you. I feel there's a lot of being able to relate by being open to other cultures and other ways of doing things, and also taking away the judgment of this is better and this is worse, or this works and this doesn't. No, in circumstances this works, in circumstances this works, and being open to that. And when we are open to all of that, because we as a 35 maybe have experienced it, all these different perspectives, here again, the healing part comes back for me, like when the 35 brings this, all the 35s come together, and we bring this to the world, to be open, just to allow everybody to be their unique selves, and to listen to each other, and then try with each other what works now and what works next week, and what will this narrow-minded way that some cultures keep. We were brought up that way, but become more open by our own experience. That openness works. I
feel like that's kind of like all the tools we're gathering in our toolbox, and we can always put more tools in our toolbox. And it's like, and when the moment is there, like, oh, this is what I picked up there, and maybe I can try that. If something what I've always been doing isn't working, instead of like insisting on it and just continuing to do that, it's like, okay, maybe if I try something else, then maybe I will have a different experience and a different result. And then there's the adventure again of like, oh, we can do it in so many different ways, and it's also fun to not always do the same thing the same way. Well, and there's place and time for everything, but it's fun to do it sometimes in a different way, and to be like, wow, if even a friend from the culture does things in a different way. Oh, you always do it like this. Oh, let me try that and see what it can bring me, maybe to do it in a different way than I'm used to. Yeah, and I feel that that's really expanding human consciousness in general. Like when we're tapping into all these different ways that we can do things, maybe things even that nobody has ever done before. But it just, we're open for it to come to us. Like, oh, like all of a sudden I feel called to try something out, and I'm like, wow, this is inventions come to the world in this way. Yeah.
You also have the 43 and the 23. So now you're tapping into that one. And I'm also seeing you have the 16 on the other side. So you have the abstract and you have the logic. So you're learning from, life, but you're also learning from the books. And I feel integrating and having these ideas on, wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, the versatility, like kind of the all the different, like bridging all the different like worlds and different experiences, and
Well, now maybe that's beautiful to share, because you have both. You have the 16 and the 35. I have the 48, so I don't have the skills from books. I hate doing exams. I do have some, so of course I have some papers which signed, you've got this degree and you got this degree, but I really don't like it. Life is my teaching, right? But you with the 16, the most people I know with the 16 are really going into the books, learning different stuff, but from the logical side. So reading the words that other people wrote, but you also have the life experience. You have them both.
Right.
So when you tap in both of them, can you maybe, for you, give an example of how these energies play out differently and where you can connect them or do connect them?
Yeah.
How they build upon each other? I feel there's a build here.
Yes, I feel that specifically. Like I can give the example of studying Gene Keys.
Right.
Like I really, for a few years already, like very passionate about it, and I love reading about it and reading the book and hearing the contemplations and reading the archetypes and then what happens for me is like that knowledge starts to then come to life in my life. So then I'll connect it, like, so something will happen, and then I'm like, and then I have the insight, this is what I read about, like, and about this and that, and I do feel that having the knowledge and having the more logical understanding really helps for me, because if I'm just going off of like life experience, I feel like sometimes it doesn't feel like complete, or when but also the other way around, like if I'm just reading the book, it doesn't come alive. It just stays like, and I was following the Venus journey for these 6 months, and I was so blown away by like how I was reading something, and then I kind of got it from an understanding point of like, logical way of like, this is how it works. I understand this type of energy, but then I started to live my life, and then those moments are happening in my life. I'm learning from it, and then I'm connecting it with that, and then all of a sudden it feels like, now I really like understand it on a deeper level. So I feel they're really like supporting each other, because sometimes I feel, wow, if I wouldn't have had that knowledge of the Gene Keys, I would feel so lost in this situation, because I wouldn't be able to understand it from a more logical or like mind energy. I cannot place it under something, and then it still stays a bit like vague, or like not really having that quality when both come together.
I now know where it comes from, that I cannot articulate exactly what I mean, because I only have the abstract side.
Right.
And I'm hearing you being able to really make it logical what the experience was all about. For me, it's all emotions and sharing what I felt and what I went through and how did it feel and what did I learn from it. But you're able to explain it to me, why it felt, why it worked, the more logical why.
And I feel like the energy of the translator also.
Right.
I'm able to translate this using like these insights that I'm having, but also the knowledge and the experience all coming together, and then it's translating into so this is how it connects together, and this is the understanding, the concept of,
And then you
what I
become
went
the
through.
perfect role model with your 6th line.
Yeah, the embodiment of it, and yeah, being able to explain it to others also feels like it's very helpful, because it's not just me sharing my experience, but I can actually link it to things.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you froze.
So others, yeah.
Oh, you're back. Luckily,
Oh, yeah.
you froze just for a minute. Oh no, you were onto something. Yeah, and I love the 16 because I don't have it, but I do it. Like I said, I have the 48, and like when I'm with Ashley, she has a 16, and I'm with her. She somehow picks up on my abstract side, and then she translated like you do. You translate words that make it logical and to be able to make something out of it without me just going like, yeah, but you know, not finding the words to really, like you said, make the connection of really translating it to people so everybody can understand the feeling or what the experience was all about. I feel.
Yeah, because otherwise it's also beautiful, and then of course people
everything has a function.
always learn. Everyone will always learn from stories and from people, but yeah, there's a specific like quality to it, and I really love the 48. By the way, I'm like, I don't have that energy. But sometimes, yeah, I love to tap into it. You know, it's like maybe it goes well with adventure of like the resourcefulness, like in the moment, like being able to go on an adventure and just knowing like I have this like like the access to these things, and like in the moment, like being able to tap into whatever it is that I need.
When I think about it, how it works is that this 48 with me then, it is sort of dormant. It is always there, but I cannot tap into it every time. And I need the other person, like the translator, to bring it out. So if you ask me questions, you can tap into my big well of wisdom, because I have learned so much also from books, but it doesn't stick with me because I don't have 16 and I have an open head, but it's all in the well. So it is there somewhere, but I cannot access it consciously. So when we would be together on an adventure and you would not know something and I would have experienced and learned already a lot of stuff, you just have to ask me a question and you can tap into my well, and then you can translate it to the group or to other people, and
great. Put
this whole pool together. So any adventure, we will get out of it in
let's do it. No, I can see that, and this is so the magic of like when we're like coming together, you know, like we meet each other in that sense, like to really tap into the potential that we're having, and to make the adventure more fun, but also more efficient, and be able to experience more. I feel it is we all have these different qualities, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, I feel you have the same kind of vision, that when we acknowledge our limitations, our perfect limitations, and then we come together and we combine our potential gifts, we've got the whole together and create everything is possible. That's what I feel. But our conditioning is that you have to do it alone, like with your business, you have to do this to make your business work. And being afraid to ask for help or able to admit that you have these perfect limitations, that will be our big leap as well when we start allowing that perfect imperfection, and then working together and create this beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. That's really what I'm doing here with the project. Also, I'm called.
I thought so. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. This is really like what we feel like, also very inspired about. Like, wow, like what if we bundle every like our powers together, and that there has so much potential in that. And like overcoming this idea of like, no, like indeed, like I need to do everything myself, and we're being all on our own individual island. But like it's not the way forward, I feel, for us. We really need to work together, to create like a beautiful change in the world as well. And if we keep just like plowing along in our own thing, struggling, and like, oh, like I don't know how to do this, but when we understand, no, we need support from each other, and that's perfectly fine, and we don't need to do everything alone. We can, but it's not the most efficient. It's not the most
necessary. We're all in live experience. We all are in the 35, sort of speak.
Right.
Anyway, you're pulling everybody in your life experience, and then the co-creation. I totally see that you're doing your profile perfectly. I love it. I feel we have expanded the 35 in a beautiful way with the pearl being in your pearl. I feel that the placement of the 35 has a very particular role. And I loved hearing your sharing about how you see that with the co-creation and pulling everybody in, like I said before, and then thriving together in this life adventure, a life lived well, out of the desire and even with the natural hunger just of wanting everybody to live a life well, right?
Oh, that's so much like, my deeper like longing. I want everyone to experience the magic of life and to
knowing that you are making progress by just sharing your story right here, setting intentions out. I do a lot of people are gonna watch this and they may go like, oh, let me connect to Maya, or whatever way, and then things will come together in the end.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that comes up for you now that you thought, I have not shared that yet, but I feel that it is really important that it's being said and shared here?
We went through a lot. I feel I feel the message that's coming through specifically is the limitlessness, that the energy of like, if to follow our dreams and to know that it's possible, and that even if at moments it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, or you feel like insecure about like the way forward, it's like to feel into that sense of, let's tap into this adventure of being here alive, enjoy the moment, and knowing that everything is possible that we wish to create in life. And that's something I feel in general, like, which is something that I always wish to share with people. It's like, it's possible, you can really do this, and like, it might take some time, it might like require some things or whatever, and it might be this journey that doesn't always immediately manifest, but absolutely there's the potential to live life in a way that is truly authentic and truly fulfilling, and fully in alignment with what we wish to experience in life.
I so feel that. I so feel that. This is really the 35 speaking. Definitely.
Yes.
Thank you so much for.
Thank you.
I love the sparks that I see with the 35 people like you. You're shining and smiling. And for those that are in the beginning of the 35, sometimes the 35 can be a bit of a heavy and drama, and but you showing the vision of the 35 being like, life is wow. No matter what happens, it is wow. We are alive. We are alive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your wisdom and all that you shared. And just feel like taking a breath, and my smile, it even hurts, like it's so
right.